go for chemotherapy. How many sessions of chemotherapy do I need? What about immunotherapy? What about surgery? What about CT scans? Well, join us on our Simply Healed program every Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Singapore, Hong Kong, and Philippine time. Our sessions are interactive, featuring a live Q&A with experts and doctors who will answer your questions in real time. You can type in your questions and get immediate, personalized responses. This is your chance to take control of your health. So take advantage of this informative and supportive experience. Visit our Facebook page and message us on Messenger to find out more. See you there this Thursday.
Boost your health today with SimplyNature Power Pack, a 5-day combo pack of SimplyNature PPARS for immune boosting and SimplyNature Cleansing Plus for effective detoxification. Experience this dynamic duo now. Available on Shopee, Lazada, and our website www.simplynature.asia and our office here in BGC. Grab yours today!
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ako si Haji Norma Yusuf, taga Zamboanga City. Pero dito na ako nakatira sa Maynila. 13 pieces na bukol, pero yung mga iba maliit siya. Pero yung itong isa malaki siya, parang umabot na ata ng 3. Kaya nga ito sabi ng doktor, kailangan tanggalin na. May kaibigan ako, try ko daw itong yung PPARS. Pangalawang gabi, naramdaman ako parang iba. Yung parang may langgam na parang gumagalaw ganyan hanggang dito, hanggang sa talampakan, ganon. Pangatlong araw ko. Parang kung sumakit yung dito ko, parang gusto ko talaga. Pag ko ganyan sa CR, yun parang lumabas talaga na ganyan, napakarami talaga. Siguro sunod-sunod yun, 3 araw, ganun. Tapos sabi ko, pagtapos yung dito ko, minsan yung parang, ganun-ganun ako. Parang masikip dito, parang minsan sumasakit dito ko, ganyan. Yung na ako dito, umabot na ng mga 5 days, ganyan. Parang nawala yung sakit dito, nawala siya. Parang hindi na ako ganun-ganun. Pag nagsalita ako, parang tuloy-tuloy na, wala na akong halos maramdaman. Kaya siguro, hindi ako, sabi ko, parang ayaw ko magpa-opera, siguro mayroon talagang gamot para dito. Binigay ng God. Ngayon, hanggang ngayon, parang maganda ang maganda ang pakiramdam ko. Yung high blood ko, pag parang magandang tinanggal ko na yung sa cholesterol ko, hindi na ako, pero yung sa cholesterol ko, pag tinatanggal ko yon, parang hindi, mga 2 araw, parang masama ang pakiramdam ko. Pero ito, 14 days na, ngayon 14 days na, basta 2 weeks na, hindi ako uminom ng subastatin, wala akong nararamdaman na parang maganda ang Kaya yun, ngayon bumili pa ako ulit ng tablet. Oo, kasi sabi ko para para lumakas talaga sa akin ng Kasi nararamdaman ko talaga na maganda. Ay, Norma Yusuf, ay bukol ako dito sa liig ko, 13 piraso. Umabot na ng 3 cm. Take ako ng PPARS 2 times, morning at saka gabi. Pag numulok ako, hindi ko na siya mararamdaman. At saka kinakapa ko siya, parang nawawala, parang wala na, hindi ko mahawakan. Hindi katulad ng dati. Salamat, SimplyNature.
Father ko muna, start ng take ng PPARS vial para po sa prostate cancer niya. Kasi medyo malala na Stage 4 na siya. Then, nabasag pa yung spinal cord niya. So, lumpo siya, hindi na makalakad, bedridden. Then, before PPARS po, ang putla na niya medyo nakakatakot na. So, while taking PPARS, little by little, yung pangumutla niya nagre-reverse. Namumula na yung pisngi. Nakatulong din sa appetite niya. Then, syempre, sa bowel movement. Kasi mukhang isa yun sa na-paralyze other than his legs. Sa lab test din, pati yung mga red blood cells niya nag-i-improve na. And yung mga SGPT, mga cholesterol, nag-i-improve din. Then sa energy levels din, kahit na bedridden siya, makulit. Since maganda yung effects, mother ko rin pinag-take ko. Kasi siya naman hypertension, na vertigo rin siya dahil sa hypertension niya eh. So sa kanya, soft gels lang. Yun, ganun din, maganda rin. Nag-i-improve din. Alongside ng maintenance niya yun, yung PPARS products. Then all in all, maganda naman. So, syempre, since nagandahan kami, di ako rin. Nakabawas sa stress, nakakasarap ng tulog, mataas din energy. So, ganda. Ganda eh. Oh, super recommended eh. Ganda nga eh. Kahit headache lang o paghihilo na babawasan, super recommended.
Yung sister ko had the symptoms of diabetes. Siguro 10 years na. Madalas siyang umiihi, tapos laging pagod, pumayat, mataas ang BP. Tapos siyempre, mga non-healing wound.
Yung sa paa po ni ma'am, paano po yun nag-start?
Okay. Kasi ganito yun eh. Yung first na hospital niya, not because of diabetes. Ang una niya, pneumonia. Ayan. Doon nalaman na may diabetes din siya. By accident. Right foot niya, may para siyang matang isda lang. Yung maliit na itim lang. Tapos napapaligiran lang siya ng parang dilaw na kulay na dilaw. Ring sa sugat na yun sa center. Tapos tinanong ko, bakit? Hindi niya daw alam anong reason. So sigurado ko dahil nga may background ako sa medical, siguro dahil yun ay lumala na yung taas ng sugar niya, hindi niya na monitor, hindi niya nabibigyan ng gamot, nagkaroon siguro siya ng komplikasyon. Yung nerve sa paa na damage na, nararamdaman na minatapakan pala siya. So probably yun siguro yung nangyari. Minatapakan siya, nasugat yung paa niya, maliit lang, tapos hindi niya naramdaman. Lumala. So, nagkaroon siya ng lagnat on and off, nakahiga lang siya. So, sabi ko sa kanya, so anong plano mo? Sabi ko, pacheck na natin yan. So, pinacheck namin as OPD. Chinek, binigyan, niresetahan ng gamot, tapos tinignan yung sugat, binusbos. Pero kapiranggot lang ang tiningnan. Tapos, in-advise na lang kami, linis, at 7 days na gamutan ng antibiotic. After na 7 days, lumala lalo. Yung pinaka pamamaga niya, lumaki lalo. So sabi ko, ay, na-infect na to. Nilala ko sa emergency room. Ayun, doon nalaman lahat. Mababa pala hemoglobin, mataas masyado yung sugar, yung diabetes niya, talagang marami ng komplikasyon.
Ano po yung plans ng doktor niya?
Na-refer siya sa ortho. Ang plano sa kanya ay putulin. VKA or the below the knee amputation. Hesitant din kami pumirma ng consent. Then later on, ni-refer naman siya sa plastic surgeon. Nagsabi naman sa amin na maganda pa circulation. Might as well na tulungan na lang natin yung paa, linisin, wound dressing for twice a day, then debridement as needed, religiously. So, yun ginawa namin. Twice a day kami naglilinis, tulungan kami ng husband niya. Hanggang ang nangyari, gumanda, pero andun pa rin yung plan na putulin. Hanggang makita na gumaganda na, ayun, hindi na naulit yung plan nila na maputol yung paa.
Kasabay po ba nun may mga tinitake pa siyang gamot?
Bukod doon sa antibiotics, bukod sa mga gamot na binigay ng doktor sa ospital, may tinake din siya na alternative medicine, yung PPARS. May kamahalan. So, sinugal ko para, kasi kailangan kung hindi mo isusugal yun, baka maputulan talaga. Kasi kahit naglilinis kami ng paa, tapos nagdidibri, pero parang slow yung healing process niya. So, I tried na painumin siya at 10 10 tablets at AM and 10 at lunch and then 10 at the evening. And the soft gel, twice a day also. So, religiously binibigay ko yun sa kanya. Ang dati kasi ano siya dahil nag-peak yung WBC niya, medyo nag-septic siya. Sa mga nakakaalam, sabihin yung infection kumalat na sa buong katawan. Kaya nagkaroon ng problema yung kaisipan na nawala sa wisyo. Dramatically, yun yung maganda doon. Dramatically, after 1 to 2 days, parang nakita ko siya ng improvement. Doon, nakita namin na sa help ng antibiotic and together with PPARS, sabi ko, maganda yung kinalabasan. So, why not continue? Hanggang nakita ko rin na gumaganda yung healing process. Tapos yung WBC, nag-dramatically from 46. Imagine, 46, dramatically bumaba siya ng 39, 33, 27, 19, 15, and then 11, 9, 7. So, nakikita mo talaga yung changes na nagawa ng gamot na yun. So, yung support ng family ay mahalaga sa recover ng pasyente. So, una, yun yung talaga nakikita ko, yung support system. Then secondly, syempre, with the help of the advanced technology, like yung mga ini-introduce ng mga gamot, hindi ko pwedeng alisin yun sa scene, sa scenario. So, ako kasi, dahil nga nasa medical field ako, medyo alam ko yung mga ganyang mga alternative medicine and evidence-based ako. So, sa PPARS, sabi ko nga, maganda yung result. Ito walang harong biro to. It's not joke. Yung mo ako binayaran eh. So it's no joke. Talagang maganda yung yung nangyari sa kapatid ko, yung lalo na yung wound healing. Yun yung nakikita ko yung wound healing talaga. Nag-granulate siya, na nagkaroon magumanda yung circulation, nabuo ng laman, okay? Nagkalaman yung mga paa niya na dating wala. Makikita niyo naman sa picture, di ba? Dating wala, nagkaroon ng laman. So, na-prevent natin yung pagputol. I can say na effective. Okay, effective yung PPARS.
Ano yung ma-advise nyo sa mga patients na same case sa sister ninyo?
Okay. So, I advise them to try. Then, kagaya ko, gusto ko may ebidensya na experience ng on hand ng ate ko. So, ganun din yung papayo ko. Try to experience yung healing, try to take the medicine religiously ha. Despite medyo may konting kamahalan, but then kung titignan mo naman yung long term na gamutan, mas mahal yun. Tsaka hospitalization. At yung syempre, yung recovery. Yun yung maganda doon eh. Yung recovery, mapabilis. So, try ninyo. Hello, I'm Joel Elcano. My sister, diabetic since way back 10 years up to now. Because of SimplyNature, hindi niya na kailangan mag-amputate. Yung recovery niya, yung unti-unti nagkaroon ng maganda, nagkalaman yung kanyang mga paa. Still recovering, yet nakikita ko yung magandang bunga. And that is because of SimplyNature, PPARS. And I trust SimplyNature.
We're always with you from start to finish.
and welcome to another episode of Simply Nature Answers. We're thrilled to have you with us today for this exciting, relatively new series where we'll provide worthy insights and answers to the pressing health-related questions. I'm Sheila, and I'll be one of your hosts for today's episode.
Well, today I'm Jenny Lee. We're really excited about today's topic, which focuses on fueling your body's defense, awaken cancer-resistant pathways through PPAR activation. So if you've been curious about how Simply Nature's PPARS products can make a difference in your cancer journey, you are in the right place.
Excellent. Now, our goal today is to help you gain a clearer understanding of how PPARS technology can be integrated into cancer treatment, empowering you to make more informed decisions, whether you're considering different treatment paths or just want to know more about Simply Nature's offerings. We're here to guide you. Through this webinar, feel free to send in your questions by dropping it on the comment section. We'll be answering as many questions as we can during the AMA or Ask Me Anything portion at the end of the video. So don't hesitate to engage with us.
Okay, now leading our discussion this afternoon is a distinguished health expert. I'd like to introduce a successful entrepreneur and a seasoned international speaker on topics ranging from personal success to healthcare. He is the CEO and founding director of Simply Nature International and a very passionate advocate for integrative health solutions. Please join us in welcoming Mr. Shyan Lim. Let's all watch this.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Nature Answers. Well, I'm Shyan, your PPARS expert from Singapore, and today I want to explore a big question. Could Simply Nature PPARS play a role in the fight against cancer? This is a complex topic, but let's take a look at what makes PPARS, peroxisome proliferator activated receptors, so promising in this area. So when activated, these PPARs can influence key functions in our cells, from immune response to inflammation and metabolic processes, and even how your cells grow and multiply. But how does this exactly translate to something as serious as fighting cancer? Let's dive in. First, let's take a look at the simple one. That is, PPARs will actually activate the pathways that modulate your immune response. It will also increase the dendritic cell activity in your body, and that helps your immune system actually identify which are the cancer cells. And this will allow your body's immune system to target the cancer cells and effectively fight them. Now let's take a look at the second function, which is inflammation. Many experts refer to inflammation as the silent partner of cancer. When our bodies are in a constant state of inflammation, it creates an environment where abnormal cells can thrive and even start multiplying uncontrollably. Think of it as like a forest fire, right? So if your entire forest is full of dry leaves and it's very warm, it's very easy for a forest fire to start. The forest fire will be like your cancer, and your dry leaves and high temperature is your inflammation. So in a very, very dry forest and a high temperature, which is high inflammation, that's just going to be very conducive for cancer growth. Simply Nature PPARS is designed to activate pathways that reduce inflammation, bringing that temperature under control. But here's the intriguing part. Some studies show that when inflammation is kept low, our bodies are actually better able to stop abnormal cells from growing in the first place. So that means anti or cancer prevention functions from our Simply Nature PPARS series. Next, let's talk about cell growth and regulation. Cancer cells are like rule breakers. They are the bad boys of the cells in your body. So they don't respond to the body's usual signal to stop growing and to even time out, which is to die. But PPAR pathways play a big role in cell regulation, encouraging cells to grow and behave normally. It also induces apoptosis in cancer cells. Apoptosis means the cancer cells die on their own, just like healthy cells. Every cell actually has an expiration date. The problem is cancer cells don't obey the expiration dates. PPAR pathways, once activated, actually causes these expiration dates to be switched on. So your rule-breaking cancer cells will actually expire and be kept in check. Let's explore another application of this concept. Imagine someone who has a small benign tumor that doctors say might not need to be treated right away or operated on. However, if left alone, it could grow and mutate into a cancer cell. Now, with SimplyNature PPARS, the mechanism that we talk about, regulating proper cell growth and also switching on the cell expiration date, we could actually help to reduce the size of these benign tumors. The body actually gets rid of the benign tumors before it can even develop into cancer cells. So not only is SimplyNature PPAR protocols effective for cancer malignant tumors, which is your cancer cells, it is also effective for benign tumors. As long as it's not a normal growth, the body system will identify it and remove it. And that's why when SimplyNature PPAR switches on these pathways, it will help you manage any tumor that you may have in your body. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about metabolic pathways. When we talk about metabolic pathways, we are of course saying things like your blood sugar, hypertension, blood cholesterol. And the good news is the PPAR protocols are actually very effective for all these chronic diseases that we all suffer from. What's important to note is that many types of cancer are linked to poor metabolic health. Conditions like obesity, diabetes, or fatty liver disease, these are the precursors to developing cancer. Cancer cells thrive on sugar and other fuel sources created by metabolic imbalances. So SimplyNature PPARS, which is able to manage all these metabolic syndromes, is able to regulate your blood sugar, regulate your cholesterol, manage your fat levels in your body. All that is good for your metabolic health, but it is also good to prevent cancer and to starve cancer, making it difficult for cancer to develop in your body. So if you're already a cancer patient, you want to have all these comorbidities under check. Now, if you are not a cancer patient, then having these under check prevents cancer from developing easily in your body. So to sum it up, SimplyNature protocols, which are all natural protocols, are able to activate your PPAR pathways. And these specific pathways that we activate modulate or manage your immune response, your inflammation, cell growth and cell regulation, and last but not least, metabolic pathways. We've discussed these 4 keys today, and of course, if you have questions, I'm going to answer them in the Ask Me Anything segment, which will come right after this.
I'm sure you have learned so much, and that discussion has got you a lot more curious about PPARS. So let's not keep you waiting. To answer your questions, let me call on once again our experts. First off, I'd like to introduce once again our CEO and founding director of SimplyNature International, Mr. Shyan Lim. And next is our resident pharmacist and one of our dearest client service officers here in SimplyNature. Let's all welcome Ms. Jenny Macanjola. Good evening, sir. Good day, Mr. Shyan, and good day, Ms. Jen.
Hi, Sheila. Hi, Jen. I think, Sheila, you're so used to Simply Healed program, and that's our program
Webinars.
with Johnson, with doctors, that's going to be on next tomorrow, every Thursday night.
That's right. All right. Well, are you ready? Shall we go to our first question for today?
Sure, let's go.
All right. Okay. So the first question thrown to us privately by one of our viewers is, can PPARS be used in combination with other cancer therapies?
Oh, most definitely. PPARS is actually, okay, if you are going for natural, PPARS is the foundation and also the catalyst. So many of our integrative doctors, that means doctors who use both natural and conventional medicine, will use PPAR as the booster and also the foundation. So yes, it will go well with things like even intravenous IV drips. It will go well even with high concentration vitamin C drips. It's just that you don't use it concurrently at the same time. Okay, you can use it. You can use both protocols, but you just don't inject the vitamin C and at the same time take your PPARS at the same moment. What you do is you wait for the evening. So you give your intravenous vitamin C, which you have to go to a clinic to do. After you go home, you rest a few hours, and by the evening before you sleep, you can start taking your SimplyNature PPARS. And of course, you can go back to your regular dosage and routine the next day. It's just that on the day of the actual IV drip itself, you don't take it together with the IV drip. Jen, you are a pharmacist, so what do you have to say when it comes to contraindications between PPARS and drugs?
Yes, actually, most food supplements don't do this, but SimplyNature clinically tested our PPARs against platinum-based chemotherapy drugs, which are cisplatin and oxaliplatin, and they found out that there is no contraindications.
Yeah, that's right. We actually have tested our products against chemotherapy drugs, which, as Jen said, very few, or I've not heard of any company that does that. So we have no contraindications. This also includes for metabolic syndromes. In fact, when you take SimplyNature PPARS, the effect of metformin will actually be increased. So those of you who are taking SimplyNature PPARS to manage your blood sugar level, you will have to check your blood sugar levels regularly, because if you're also taking metformin, your blood sugar level is going to come under control even faster, which means that you have to make sure that you're not overdosing on your conventional drugs like metformin.
Exactly. Thank you. That's very encouraging. We are starting off really, really good today. All right. So the next question is, what is the relationship between PPARS and the immune system in cancer defense?
All right. Okay, I'll take this one, Jen. Okay, PPARS actually does a few things. Right? Number one, when we talk about your immune system is actually largely found in your blood. Okay, so your red blood cells, your white blood cells, these are key components of your immune system. When we say, for us, like on this program, for general viewers, we say white blood cells. But actually, white blood cells contains a whole host of different cells, from neutrophil cells to leukocyte cells, all sorts of a mixture of blood cells, but we term it together as white blood cells. All right. Now, how SimplyNature helps is we help with cell delineation or cell maturation. That means your blood stem cells in your bone marrow will mature more successfully and completely and healthily and correctly into effective white blood cells and red blood cells. So that's where PPAR helps in terms of cell maturation, okay, which is cell development. So make sure your blood stem cells in your bone marrow will develop into proper, effective red blood cell and white blood cell, and that directly impacts your immune system. And next is that PPARS actually triggers the immune response, right? It triggers the pathway that modulates or controls how your body reacts. So this is different from your red blood cells and white blood cells, all right? So red blood cell, white blood cell is the quantity, all right? The other one is this one modulates the pathway that decides whether to release, how much red blood cells to release, what to put inside, and what combination of white blood cells will go to fight the cancer, and so forth. So that is stimulating or modulating your immune response pathways. And last but not least, we talk about inflammation. Okay, so inflammation is necessary for the body because inflammation is basically sending blood to the location. All right. Chronic inflammation will make too much blood, so-called, available everywhere. And one thing that helps that cancer needs to grow, especially for heart tumor cancers, that means cancers with tumor. For example, there are also cancers without any tumor. One is leukemia. Okay, now let's talk about the cancers with tumor like breast cancer and so forth. For the tumor to grow, the tumor cannot just steal the nutrition from the cells around it. When it reaches a certain size, right, and that's the size where you get where you can detect the cancer, it needs to start forming its own blood vessels. So it will create like smugglers. Okay, if you imagine, they create an illegal highway all right, that straight away gets the flow of blood and nutrients to the cancer cells itself. Now, what makes it easy to form new blood vessels is actually inflammation. Remember, inflammation is about sending blood there. So having an excess of like blood in that area makes it easy for the cells. And here we are talking about the cancer cells, cancer tumor, to create new blood vessels to feed it. And that will accelerate or make your tumors grow fast. So you want to reduce that, and you want to reduce general chronic inflammation. That's the one reason why. And last but not least, sorry, I said this was last, but actually there's one more. Okay, metabolic, manage your metabolic pathways. This is actually more like it will manage the things that cause comorbidities like high blood cholesterol, high blood sugar. All these actually affect your ability to fight cancer. Why? Because when you have high blood cholesterol, high blood sugar, you will inevitably start to damage two critical organs called your kidney and your liver. Now, your kidney and liver don't fight cancer directly, but they're very important in processing the waste that comes from fighting cancer. So if you don't process the waste from fighting cancer out, it will affect your body's ability to continue to fight cancer effectively. Okay, so I think I've listed 4 ways how PPARS actually directly combat cancer.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's
Jen?
more on the physiology side, where is the branch of biology that studies the normal functions of living organisms. So that's what Sir Shyan was saying about the tumor creating their own blood vessels to supply the tumor the nutrients it needs to grow. And it's called angiogenesis.
Yeah,
So what
angiogenesis.
PPARS do is it cuts off those blood vessels. It cuts the supply. Yeah, and so the tumor will stop growing. But more on the pharmacokinetic side, which is the study of
Oh, that's a mouthful, Jen. Can you say that again?
pharmacokinetic. So that
Wow,
means the
okay.
study of the drugs to the body. How does the drug affect on the body? So that's the pharmacokinetics. And PPARs, there's 3 subtypes actually: PPAR alpha, PPAR gamma, and PPAR delta. Good news is all of these 3 can be found in our SimplyNature PPARs. And PPAR alpha focuses on reducing the chronic inflammation, which is a known driver of cancer development. Our small little chronic inflammation here and there, okay? And then the PPAR gamma naman inhibits the proliferation of cancer cells. So, and it even triggers the apoptosis, which is the tumor self-destruct. Okay, that is PPAR gamma. Okay, and then lastly, we also have the PPAR delta, which plays a role in repairing the damaged tissues. Yeah.
So there you go. I talked about physiological mechanisms. Jen gave you some pharmacological categorization of drug effects. All right.
Yeah. Well, may I say both your answers were very encouraging to our cancer patients, talking about cancer cell suicide, being diagnosed with cancer as well. There. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Jen and Sir Shyan. Now, next question: how might PPAR contribute to the regulation of the immune system in fighting off cancer cells?
Okay, I think this one is like the first 2 questions. The mechanisms are actually I won't go too deep. I think what's very important is that we understand in general, not say in general, the main 4 mechanisms of how PPARS helps with a cancer patient is, first of all, you should know as a cancer patient what's your strategy, right? What's your discarte? So the strategy for fighting cancer is number 1, always lower your inflammation in your body. Okay. Number 2, find ways to strengthen your body's immune system. Okay. The most common way, which everybody knows, is boost immune system. How? The same way vitamin C does. Okay, antioxidants. Now that's a very simple way, and that's what you can get from multivitamins. That's what you do when you have a flu. All right. That's what you do when you have cough or you have a fever. You boost your immune system. But when you're fighting cancer, it's a lot more than that, right? So it's talking about what we talked about. What actual mechanism when it talks about boosting immune system is increasing things like dendritic cell activity. That's how your immune system cells identify the cancer cells. So you may or may not know, most cancer is developed because the body cannot detect the cancer cells. If the body had detected the cancer cells, it would have killed the cancer cells. Here's a good example. Why do you take COVID-19 or any vaccine? To help your immune system recognize, or to use a simpler term, to help your immune system detect the virus so that your body will attack it and kill it, right? So that's why we take vaccines, right? To train your body to identify. It's not that your immune system cannot kill the virus, it's that your immune system cannot recognize the virus. That's the same thing with cancer. If your immune system recognizes the cancer cell, your cancer cells would not have the opportunity to grow into a tumor. All right. So the reason why your cancer cells grow into a tumor is because it can hide from your body's detection. And that's what immunotherapy does. Right? Immunotherapy, which anybody who has cancer has definitely heard about it. It's very expensive. But here, the important thing is how immunotherapy works is not the same way as your vitamin C. It does not boost your immune system with antioxidants, right? What it does is that like a vaccine, it trains or equips your immune system to recognize the cancer cells. It does this a few ways. One way is it removes. So immunotherapy from the drug is actually very specific. It works not on the body, it works on the cancer. Okay, so here's the main difference between immunotherapy action from SimplyNature PPARS and immunotherapy action from the drug. Okay, when you take the medical like your oncologist give you immunotherapy, right? What it will do is it will act on the cancer cells in your body to remove their cloaking, right? It removes the way the cancer cells hide themselves. This way, your body's immune system is able to recognize the cancer cells. This is why every immunotherapy drug is specific for every type of cancer, right? You have a specific drug for breast cancer. There are 4 types of breast cancer. So each type of breast cancer has a separate different type of drug for the immunotherapy. Why? It works on the cancer cell. So obviously the drug must match the cancer cell. But for SimplyNature, our SimplyNature works on all cancer. Why? Because we don't work on the cancer cell. We work on our immune cells. So when you equip your own immune cells, then your immune cells can fight all sorts of cancer. So what it does is it does boost our body's immune system's ability to detect cancer cell. And that is actually what we specifically is the dendritic cells and their activity. It's a whole cascade, a bit more complicated, but easy for you to remember is when you increase dendritic cell activity, you improve your body's ability to identify cancer cells. And this way, once your cancer cells are identified, your immune system will go after it and it will effectively kill the cancer. Okay, so that's the answer, Sheila.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. Okay, Ms. Jen, shall we go to the next question? All right.
I just want to add that. Okay.
No, yeah,
I just
yes,
want to
go,
add
Jen.
that we're saying kind of big words, but believe it's true because first of all, we are FDA approved. You can search in the FDA verification portal. You can search for SimplyNature. All of our SimplyNature PPAR products and forms will appear there. Even the Cleansing Plus, okay? And since it's registered in the FDA, we are prescribed not only by naturopaths, but also medical doctors. Okay?
Yeah, for that, we are actually listed.
For sure, we wouldn't. Yeah, and we're also listed in memes.
Okay,
so we wouldn't.
Yeah, so for all the viewers,
gamble our license for this.
Yeah. So in case you don't know what MIMS is actually like the catalog book for drugs. Okay, so if you do catalog shopping, like you like to browse Lazada, MIMS is the doctor's Lazada. Okay, this is where they find
the doctor's Bible.
Yeah, yes, MIMS is the doctor's Bible. It's their drug Bible. But we are also listed in MIMS. Okay, so you can find SimplyNature there. We are listed for the effect to support chemotherapy by preventing damage to the bone marrow, and improving red blood cell and white blood cell production.
Excellent. Yes. Well, this is also the very reason why here in Simply Nature, we actually don't want you going far away from your doctors when you started off with our PPARs. We actually want you to be well coordinated with them so that your doctors can also see the improvements that they are having during their journeys. All right. Okay, so the next question, this one is very interesting. Are there any specific dietary patterns such as Mediterranean diet linked to PPAR activation and reduce cancer risk?
Okay. When it comes to diet, right? Here is this. Every individual might have specific, how shall we say, unique, unique reaction or unique effect that for every diet that they take. So surprisingly, some people would actually benefit from eating meat. Okay, so we're not going to talk about this isolated or unique dietary effect on individuals. So we can only give you advice in general. So in general, for the large population of, for the major population, and for most cancer patients, the right diet to take is a plant-based diet. So animal protein in general, unless you're the exception, will feed your cancer cells more than it will feed your healthy cells. Right? Why? Because you have your healthy cells can grow from animal protein, but it can also grow using plant protein. Right? But however, cancer cells don't grow by using plant protein. Cancer cells grow by using animal protein. So yeah, when you eat animal protein like chicken, fish, beef, right? You feed your cancer cells, you also feed your healthy cells. But if you take plant protein, you only feed your healthy cells, your own healthy cells, and not the cancer cells. That is why for all cancer patients, it's advised that you stick to a plant-based diet. Now, when it comes to plant-based diet, try not to take all those fake meat like Beyond Meat and all that, because I'm just quoting Beyond Meat as an example. I'm not targeting Beyond Meat, all right? Okay, it's because they have lots and lots of ingredients, like 40 over ingredients. So it becomes a very highly ultra-processed food. So when you want to take for a diet for a cancer patient, try to take the less processing, the better. So that means eat whole actual vegetables. Don't take canned processed vegetables, like, you know, when you go and get all those fake meats. So those are highly processed. There are lots of chemicals in there, and that's not healthy for you as a cancer patient. Next is cancer patients will be advised by oncologists to increase their protein if you're going for chemotherapy, for example, because you look thin. You're losing weight from chemotherapy or radiation therapy. So of course, the fastest way to put on weight is to intake your protein. However, today, instead of taking whey protein shake, thank goodness in the last 5 years, lots and lots of new formulas have come out. You don't have to take whey protein anymore because whey protein is animal protein. There is now plant-based protein from the same makers of your whey protein, same brand. So those who go to a fitness gym, I think the most famous one is ONE, One Nutrition. All right, their whey protein is the #1 gold standard. Guess what? They also now have plant-based protein shakes. So you can, when your uncle tell you to take protein shakes, you don't have to take whey protein. You can take plant-based protein. All right, and now there are lots of variety. And also, just in case you may think, because some breast cancer patients have heard this urban myth or medical myth that soya bean causes breast cancer. #1, it does not. Okay, if you want us, you can come again on tomorrow and ask Dr. Johnson. He's a specialist in the area of lifestyle medicine, so he can give you a very comprehensive answer. No, soya bean does not cause breast cancer. Okay, but anyway, for your information, most of the plant protein, when you take protein shakes, don't come from soya bean. It comes actually from peas. PEAS, you know, your green peas, your mongo, things like that. It comes from legumes and beans. So that's one thing of your, so just for general information. Okay, so that's the diet you should stick on to. Now, if you really want to eat meat, because it's difficult, do avoid do avoid meats that, so eat like native chicken, all right? Those without growth hormones, because you don't want to put growth hormones in your body. Your cancer cells will benefit from growth hormones. So that's why you eat like sea caught fish, or not farmed fish, because farmed fish, they feed them growth hormones and lots of antibiotics and all that as well. So then again, so the safest thing is to eat a largely plant-based diet.
Exactly. Miss Jen, yes?
Okay, before I add to the answer, let me just greet Miss Malu Banaag Baldomero. Good afternoon po. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just comment down so we can answer it live. Okay, speaking of diet, we always encourage a WFPB, whole food plant-based. That's WFPB. So you don't have to ask us for the recipes. You can just search online. There's lots on Google and YouTube. You can do your DIY as long as you know your boundaries. That means no animal products and dairy. Yeah. And if
Yeah,
speaking of
dairy
Mediterranean diet
also.
naman, yeah. Actually, I'm a cheese lover, so
Okay,
okay.
did you say you're a cheese lover, Jen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to tell everybody, all right? Those of you who are cheese lovers, just go to your like grocery store, look for
Mm.
cashew cheese. Cheese made from
Ah,
cashew nuts. It tastes like mozzarella. It's really
wow.
delicious, almost no different. And the way they produce it is similar to your milk cheese. So it's not like Maron fake meat, Maron
Yeah.
Frankenstein. They put so many chemicals. Okay, so here's the thing. How do you make cheese? You make cheese by fermentation, right? You let your milk like ferment, it sours, then it becomes solid, right? And that's the milk fat, and then you make cheese from that. Okay. Now, when you make cashew cheese, they also use the same process. So instead of letting milk ferment, they let cashew. So they grind the cashew up, right? And then they let the cashew milk, so-called, ferment, and it creates a cheese. It creates a cheese. So you get a benefit. You get to satisfy your craving for cheese, and it's good for you. It's healthy.
Exactly. Well, thank you. I couldn't agree more. No, I've being a mom of a kid who's a
Ah,
cancer survivor. Okay, who's also doing the plant-based whole food diet. YouTube is actually my go-to. Okay, and looking for a lot of recipes. And I say, this is also said by Doc Jansen also that there are a lot of patients, even though they are on a plant-based diet, they actually gain weight. Okay, so this is a valid question because a lot of patients out there are scared to go on this kind of diet because they are feared about their protein intake, being diagnosed with cancer. But may I just say this is really doable. Okay, so there. All
Mm.
right.
Yeah. So for those who are on Mediterranean diet and you like healthy fats from the fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines because of their omega-3 fatty acids content, good news
mm.
is PPARS tablets have those. We also have omega fatty acids. Okay, so I'll name 5. These are kind of big words too, but I just want you to know the content of what you're taking. Yeah, we're transparent here. So first one is myristic acid, palmitic acid, stearic acid, oleic acid, and linoleic acid. All of these fatty acids came from our unique strain of microalgae. So without the fishy content. Okay. And then for those naman who want antioxidants, yan, those who like to eat tomatoes, broccoli, peppers, and berries, we also have antioxidants on our PPARS Plus tablets. So it's the same content with the PPARS Premium tablets plus resveratrol, yan, and polyphenols for added antioxidants and cardiovascular protection. So these are very good for patients that have high blood
is actually anti-aging. Okay, it's anti-aging. Because the thing that makes it anti-aging is the reason why it's effective for cancer, cancer prevention and cancer support, especially for chemotherapy. The catchword, the most important area of focus today for anti-aging is no longer vitamin C and antioxidants. No, that is like, as that's been around for almost 40 years already, okay? What is the catchword and what's the mechanism of action? What people are looking for anti-aging right now is not antioxidants, it is preserving mitochondrial function. Okay, that's a big word. Preserving mitochondrial function. So what is mitochondrial function? Mitochondrial function is literally the energy, the battery or the generator of every single cell. That means every cell in your body has its own generator. If you preserve the generator, your cell will live longer and healthier. Makes sense, right? It's like your cells run out of battery, so it dies. So if you want to live longer, you want all your cells to live longer. If you want your cells to live longer, the battery must last longer. So that's why now anti-aging or aging well focus on preserving your mitochondrial function in every cell. This is actually what SimplyNature PPARS does. It actually preserves mitochondrial function. We can go into the technicalities that we terms like caspase 3, all this will start to come out and it gets a bit complicated. But the science is there. And this is how we actually help cancer patients, because when cancer patients go under chemotherapy, why do you notice? When you see a patient who's undergoing chemotherapy, especially the old generation of chemotherapy, they always look older. They always look older. Yeah, suddenly they age. Okay?
Yes.
The reason is because the chemotherapy kills the cancer cells by doing mitochondrial damage. But it will also damage the healthy cells' mitochondrial function. So this is why people who go for chemotherapy start to look aged. Okay, and that's actually one of the common damage that all drugs do. It also explains why. I recently met a friend of mine. He also used to have a baby face, Sheila. So he and me are like buddies, right? We both have baby face. We look young. Then I had lunch with him. I was so shocked. He looks old. He really looks his age now. He looks 50. But he's not 50, he's 49. He's actually younger than me. So I told my wife this, and he said, "Oh dear, don't you remember? He just underwent a major surgery." So you see what happens, now you know why anti-aging is about mitochondrial. When you go for a surgery, Diva, a major one, that means you cut open your system, and before that you were already sick, right? So imagine how much energy it requires to repair a major surgery. So all this energy gets sucked from the other parts of your body. That means because you eat the same amount of food, right? You get, let's say, 2,000 calories, and you have so much nutrients, and so on and so forth. So all the energy needed to build and repair the wound and restore the function of the organs back to original, it sucks energy from every other cell, right? Because there's a fixed amount in your body. And that is why the less important things like your skin, your fingernails, all this, and that's why you look old. That's why he aged. Okay, so you will notice anybody, especially anybody near their 50s and above, elderly, they age like 20 years or 10 years when they have a major sickness, because the energy is sapped away. You want to say something, Sheila?
Yeah, well, that actually amazed me because I have a client. She's been with us since pandemic. All right, you know her, Miss Claudette from Bicol, right? And every time her friends see her, she just doesn't look like a cancer patient. Right? She's been with our PPARS ever since pandemic, and it just amazed me how PPARS can actually protect the person having a cancer from those such kinds of deteriorating or things like that for our bodies. So there.
Yeah, so that's a good example. It does that for a cancer patient, but the mechanism was not for cancer. It was actually for the well-running and preservation of your healthy body. So to Ron, this mitochondrial function is something that you cannot get from your multivites. you cannot get from eating antioxidants. All right, that is it's more than that. It's the specific action of PPARS and the phytonutrients found in our own proprietary microalgae. All right, so this is why you take, let's say, for example, in Philippines, you take malunggay because there's something special in malunggay that is not found in your antioxidant multivitamin pill that you can buy, right? And the Chinese take ginseng, cordyceps. Why? Because they are unique plant compounds that actually have effect on your body, effect on functions, right? So for cordyceps, ginseng, all this actually, they affect the immune response. For SimplyNature PPAR tablets, right, it not only affects the immune response, as we have talked about, it actually preserves mitochondrial function. And that is going to help you on the anti-aging level, all right? Now, I think when it comes to general health or general person, we already said, immune system, keeping your metabolic health healthy. That means don't develop diabetes, don't develop high blood cholesterol and hypertension. I think for a normal healthy person, this mitochondrial function preservation is probably very, very attractive and very important and effective. We are all of us now are expected to live longer. So that means wanting to look younger and be fit becomes something real, right? Because you are not going to live until 60. You're most likely going to live until 80. Last time, you may not worry what you look like at 80 because you're not so sure if you'll make it to 80. Now, there's a likelihood that you may hit 90, so you will be concerned at 80, what do you look like? So I think that's one of the best benefits that you can have. And okay, Ron also asked, what about cleansing? Can we mix it with milk or one favorite juice drink? Okay, you can mix it with juice drinks, especially if you're not diabetic, all right, because juice is already high in sugar. But do take note, if you mix it with your juice drink, it will coagulate quickly. All right, so you cannot let the cleansing plus contains a lot of fiber, so it will absorb and cling and start to bind. So when the effect of binding will cause your drink to coagulate. So if you like to enjoy your smoothie slowly, it's not a good idea to mix it with your cleansing plus, okay, because you won't have enough time to enjoy your smoothie. But is there anything wrong with mixing it? No, it's not. Okay, now when it comes to milk, okay, I can't, to my knowledge, it shouldn't be. But milk is something that we try not to mix things with too much, right? Like, can you imagine, when you mix milk, for example, with Coca-Cola, it will also coagulate, right? Milk does react to lots of stuff. Correct. So that's that. So I'm not so sure about milk. Yeah, again, to enjoy milk, to make something smooth, I think Cleansing Plus is already smooth. It's already thick. So usually we add milk to make things creamier and thicker. So texture-wise, I don't think the milk is going to add more to your experience of enjoying the Cleansing Plus. So yeah, I wouldn't advise that. But fruit juice is probably because of flavor. Right? Maybe you add like orange juice because you like orange flavor, and that will make it easier for you to drink your Cleansing Plus. Yeah, then that's fine. You can mix it with your fruit juice. Or if you like cranberry juice and all that, you want to mix that in, sure. It's not gonna affect. But watch the sugar content, especially if you're diabetic. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Those are very valid questions. Good questions as well. Thank you, Mr. Rob. All right. Now, this will be our last question for today. All right. The question is, can PPARS, very interesting, Sir Sean, can PPARS reduce the risk of developing secondary cancers in cancer survivors? Okay.
Okay, what do you mean by secondary cancer? I'm assuming, yeah.
I'm assuming, apart from the recurrence, can PPARS prevent another type of cancer from progressing for our patients who are survivors of cancer already?
Hold on. Okay, there are two types of secondary cancer, right? The one that we commonly think about is metastatic cancer. That means cancer that has spread from the original cancer. So this means that it's actually the same cancer cell. So when your when a cancer patient with breast cancer metastasizes to the bone, it doesn't mean you have bone cancer. It means you have breast cancer in the bones. It sounds so weird, right? Because breast cancer, why is it in the bones? But that's just to highlight and to you that it's the same cancer cells. A cancer that started from the bone cancer, is very different from breast cancer cells. They're two different types of cancer cells. They will need different drugs if you're using chemotherapy. Okay, so if you have breast cancer metastasized to the bone, you will still be using breast cancer drugs. You will not be using bone cancer drugs. Okay, that's metastasis. Does PPAR help with metastasis? Yes, definitely. Okay, remember we talked about reducing inflammation, so reducing the formation of blood vessels. All these promote the cancer spreading. All right. Also, if your cancer is big, it tends to get ready to multiply, and the more cancer cells you have, the bigger the tumor, the highly likelihood that the cancer cells from the tumor will break off. It will go into your blood vessel, and then it will travel through your blood vessel and come out somewhere. This is why cancer usually spreads to the lungs, because blood goes to your lungs to pick up oxygen, right? And there are lots of small blood vessels in your lungs so that your blood can pick up the oxygen more efficiently. That also means there are more exit points in the lungs also. So it's very easy for your hijack cancer cells to smuggle their way to the lungs and then get out there. And that's why most cancer cells also spread to the lungs. Many cancer cells also spread to the liver. Reason why? All blood goes to the liver to be filtered. So the cancer cell actually hitch a ride in your blood vessels, right? Hitch a ride with your blood. So it will travel where the blood travels. So the two common place where blood travels is to your lungs and to your liver. So that's why also cancer metastasizes there. So as we said, reducing inflammation, and also remember, right? It's not a tumor traveling in your blood vessel. It's a very small cancer cell, which is easy to kill, provided your immune system can detect it. Diba? So we talked about just now, SimplyNature PPARS increase your body's ability to detect the cancer cell. So since it's a small cancer cell, it's easy to kill. The key is, can your body detect it? By taking SimplyNature PPARS, you increase your body's ability to detect cancer cells. So that should help. That will be the mechanism of action to help prevent the cancer cell from spreading, because the small ones that manage to smuggle into the blood vessels can be detected in the new location, and before they can grow into a tumor, because it's detected, your immune system gets it. It doesn't develop into another tumor. So it stops the spread of the cancer. Now, the other one is, okay, sometimes some treatments can actually cause another cancer. Okay, why? Because chemotherapy damages the cells, including the healthy cells. And if there's DNA damage can lead to an abnormal cell, which is what a cancer cell is. The other treatment is radiation therapy. So radiation therapy also causes mutation, right? But it doesn't make you into a superhero. It actually causes cancer cells to form. Okay, for both this, remember, one of the PPAR effect is to help the proper development. Remember, we talked about the bone marrow just now, proper development of the blood cells, red blood cells. So this will also promote proper development, not only of your bone marrow blood stem cells, but all the cells in your body. So it will prevent the creation of mutated cells that will slowly develop into cancer. Okay, so that's one way, another way that we help with secondary cancer. Yeah. So there you go. So the answer to your question, does it help with preventing secondary cancer? Yes, very directly. Now, indirectly is cancer is caused by the foundation for cancer is metabolic syndromes. Okay, you can build in Philippines. Sheila and Jen, I think we don't do a lot of foundation when people are building a house, diba? Meron walang piling. Okay, you don't like pile things into the ground to make the ground firm. Okay, but But in Singapore, because we have most of our places that we live in are condominiums. All right. So condominiums are 30 stories, 20 stories. You cannot build a condominium without foundation. You need to pile the foundation. All right. So cancer cells are like condominiums. It's hard to build a condominium. You cannot build a condominium unless you have foundation. If not, the building can only build to 2 stories, maybe maximum 3 stories, then it's not stable. All right. So cancer cells by themselves are mutated cells, it's not stable. What will create the foundation for cancer cells is metabolic syndromes. When you have high blood sugar, high blood cholesterol, you will definitely end up with a damaged liver, kidney, compromised kidney, liver. You will also have high inflammation. All these things become the foundation for cancer cells to develop into cancer. Okay, so again, if you can deal with metabolic syndromes, you're basically being anti-cancer. No, maybe related to Ron's question, everybody's wondering, what can I do to be anti-cancer? So don't be tricked, right? Don't be tricked by, I guess, false strategies. Maybe sometimes we look at a product and say, it's an anti-cancer product. So we are tricked because we are looking for anti-cancer, right? The truth is, let's say, for example, they say, take this multivitamin, it is anti-cancer. We believe, right? Because as a consumer, you will see that the word anti-cancer, so you believe. But if you look carefully at the ingredients, it's the same ingredients as your multivitamins. Maybe even higher in vitamin C. That's all. So actually, but yet you bought it not because it's high in vitamin C. You bought it because it's anti-cancer. So in a way, you got tricked, right? You just bought a high-dose vitamin C supplement thinking it's an anti-cancer. But actually, so you've got to understand, what does it mean to be an anti-cancer? To be anti-cancer means you need to lower inflammation and not develop metabolic syndromes. So your high blood sugar, high blood cholesterol, all these, right? As long as you do this, you are preventing cancer from developing your body. Yay! Okay. The moment you detox also, that's also the case. So that's why one of the best anti-cancer supplements you can take will be SimplyNature, because we don't just have antioxidants, we actually modulate or manage the immune response and inflammation in your body. This is the key things that you want to do, or effect that you want to have when you take a supplement for anti-cancer. Manage inflammation and manage all your metabolic syndromes. There you go.
Thank you, Sir Fan. Ms. Jen, would you like to add any before I ask for your parting words?
Before you reach that level of secondary cancer, you should prevent it na. You should take PPARS na, because PPARS have so research shows that one of the 5 powerful ways PPARS fight cancer is the cell adhesion. So it minimizes the metastasis of cancer tumor. That's it lang. And if after you're a survivor already, for the first 5 years, those are very crucial for recurrence. So we recommend PPARS soft gel capsule once a day until you finish that 5 years. Yun. And after that, you can just downgrade to PPARS plus tablets for general health maintenance.
Yeah, last comment is that for Ron, because he asked about healthy people. Okay, if you are healthy, I assume that you have a exercise regime. Because if you don't exercise, you're not going to be too healthy. All right. Now, if you're healthy, that means maybe you jog, or like some of my friends. I noticed Jen and Sheila in Singapore, all the old people are running marathons. I think yes, a lot of my friends in banking and in sales and basically in corporate jobs are all running marathons now. I think it's 20, 30 years of being stuck in the office. Suddenly now every day they want to run. But health is being healthy and fitness is a very big thing in Singapore now, because I think we are very, very clear. I mean, this back to Ron's statement, right? We're very, very clear that we're all going to live longer. So last time, if you think you're only going to live to 65 and maybe 70 at max, you sort of party hard, right? Live hard. Anyway, life is short. You know, that's the phrase, life is short. The problem is life is no longer short. Now here's the thing, right? You can't live and eat. You know, people will say, enjoy yourself, life is short. But here,
The YOLO, YOLO. You
yeah,
only live once.
you only live once and then life is short. Fortunately, that statement is not true anymore. Life is long now. Because life is long now, be careful how much lechon you eat when you are young, right? Because in the past, you won't live long enough to suffer the consequences of drinking too much soft drinks. However, now it's almost guaranteed that you will live long enough to suffer the consequences of eating too much, drinking too much soft drinks. So, to Ron, yeah, very good question. And last but not least, I wanted to say is that since if you do exercise, you will notice one benefit from SimplyNature PPAR tablets. Just the tablets alone will give you this effect. Give yourself about 3 weeks. Within sometimes as fast as 10 days, depending on how your health was. Right, the more healthy you are, the longer it takes to see the effect. Why? Because you're already very healthy. If you are those couch potato, not sick but not really healthy, then the effect is even faster. Okay, one thing you'll see is stamina increase. So if you run on the treadmill or you take slow jogs or slow walks or even run marathon, you will actually see an improvement from 10 to 30%. That's very significant on the 30% side, right? Because someone who runs a marathon, who takes 4 hours to run a marathon, can do it in 3 now. That's a huge improvement. So, and you also find that when you exercise, your recovery rate is faster. Okay, so that's another thing that Ron can look forward to once you go on PPAR tablets. Again, I'm a healthy person. I don't have cancer or or diabetes, but I take PPARs and I've been taking it for 23 years daily. My dosage is I actually take 10 micro tablets 2 times a day, but mostly because I'm a guy, I take it 1 shot 20 in the morning. All right, and that's what I do, and that's my regular routine. And then I do exercise an hour a day or almost every day. Now almost every day. In the past, not so regular. But when you hit 50, yeah, you start to care about your health a lot. Okay.
All right. Well,
That's
thank you
all.
so much, Shyan. Thank you for answering the questions of our viewers for today. And of course, now we are very much looking forward to see you once again tomorrow, okay, for our regular webinar, right? And that, well, Miss Jen, would you like to add anything before we say goodbye to our viewers for this afternoon?
Actually, that's all because that's all I'm afraid we've got time for today. But
Yeah,
if
we
you
are 5
can't
o'clock
get
already.
enough, yeah, so let's see you again. Stay tuned until the end for promos, surprising promos. And if you have any follow-up questions, don't worry, we will answer your questions tomorrow night on our webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Jen. Thank you, Sir Sean. See you again tomorrow. All right. Yes, as Miss Jen actually mentioned, we have so many exciting news for you because you are in for a treat because up until November 22, that's this coming Friday, we have an exciting exclusive VIP promos that awaits our direct and website buyers. I'd like to say first the 2 ones. Get free 5 sachets of Cleansing Plus for 3 packs of PPARS soft gel capsules. So that's a total of 30 capsules. And get a free bottle of PPARS tablets when you buy PPARS liquid or powder extract. Another exciting promo for our existing VIPs is that you can get free 2 sachets of Cleansing Plus if you purchase 1 PPARS soft gel capsule blister. Okay, another one. On top of the exclusive VIP promos, we are also offering a limited time promo that you wouldn't want to miss. Hurry because this offer is only up until November 30. So shop now at the official SimplyNature website. That's www.simplynature.asia and get more than 250 pesos discount when you purchase PPARS powder extract or PPARS liquid extract, and get 200 peso discount when you buy 3 packs of PPARS soft gel capsules. So don't wait and hurry because This is the chance to stock up and experience the benefits of PPARS at an unbeatable price. But wait, there's more, all right? Our gift packages of Power Pack and Kickstart. The Power Pack is actually good for 5 days, while the Kickstart is good for 15 days. We have an amazing promo. Buy 10, get 1. This is a perfect gift for your loved ones this holiday season, because who doesn't want to receive a gift of good health, right? So we do hope to see you tomorrow at 7:30 evening on our regular Simply Nature webinar entitled Pathways to Healing Breast Cancer, Advancement in Breast Cancer Treatment and Recovery. All right. So once again, thank you so much for joining. Know that your victories over cancer and other metabolic illnesses is what keeps us going here, because here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all. See you tomorrow.